we've already covered Dragon Crown's character classes, combat, and insanely deep loot system. For this video, why not take a bit of a tour of Dragon Crown's world and show off some of the locales you'll be frequenting. Dragon's Crown revolves around a hub town. In between missions, you'll come here to restock your character's inventory, heal up, and visit some of your friends. The Dragon's Haven Inn is a key location where you'll be able to select new allies, create new main characters, save your game, and more. Once you work your way out of Dragon's Haven Inn, you'll find the Cannon Temple, where you'll be able to resurrect fallen allies, bury the bones of the deceased, and say a few prayers to help buff out your chances in battle. Next up is Morgan's Magic Item Shop, where you can purchase new potions and other wares, and even sell off old items and equipment and appraise the loot you found. Lucane's Tower is next to the magic shop, and it's from there that you can learn more about the arcane ways of the world, especially in terms of powerful runes. The Adventurers Guild is a key location in town because it's here that you can level up your character's specialized statistics, something we're not allowed to show you, and accept side quests for extra experience points, gold, and skill points. The castle is a place of incredible intrigue where many of your missions will be coming from, and the gate to the right side of the town unleashes you onto the world map. The world of Hydeland is exceptionally dangerous, but it's also exceptionally diverse, and we're allowed to show you the first 6 stages of the game, starting with the ancient temple ruins. The temple ruins are adorned with broken statues and pillars, and introduce players to some of their first hidden areas in the game. As the sun-drenched opening areas give way to darker locales, however, spiderwebs begin to increase in numbers, obscuring indoor waterfalls. This eventually leads to a watery area where Dragon's Crown's first boss battle occurs. The Old Capital is the game's second stage, and it is also weathered by time and conflict. What's cool about the Old Capital is that you get to go inside many of the abandoned buildings, as well as enjoy some outdoor combat. Corridors later in the stage become dense with monsters, culminating in a cavernous area underneath the capital where another boss fight ensues. The third stage is Wallace's Underground Labyrinth, a place truly different than both the ancient temple ruins and the Old Capital. Here, magical enemies preside, some touched by experiments gone horribly awry. Wide open, brightly lit hallways eventually give way to a library full of old, dusty tomes, and it's at that point that some of the experiments begin to rear their ugly heads. The Bilberon Subterranean Fortress is Dragon Crown's 4th stage. It's the home of the goblins you've been fighting in the game. You even get a look at the goblin chef at one point. And it is, in essence, a huge castle full of enemies and staggeringly beautiful background views. You'll constantly go inside the castle and then back outside as you work your way further and further through the map, eventually colliding with darkened passages that require a torch to see through. The 5th stage is called the Castle of the Dead, and its name is quite literal. As soon as you begin, you'll see coffins everywhere. You'll be fighting through the castle's catacombs for most of the adventure here, though you'll eventually enter the castle itself, full of even more spiderwebs and spiders than you encountered on earlier stages. Ultimately, you'll run into a part of the castle exposed to some eerie moonlight, a scene right out of an old-school Castlevania game. The final stage we're allowed to show you, the Ghost Ship Cove, is exactly what it sounds like. It's a ship graveyard, a place where old vessels are abandoned and left to rot. Not surprisingly, this area is full of pirates, but what's most notable about it is that it's a stage that forces you to fight both in the water and on dry land, both on the actual ships in the graveyard and in the caves surrounding those ships. It's where Dragon's Crown's difficulty truly ramps up. Dragon's Crown comes exclusively to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita this August. For more on the game in between now and then, keep it tuned to IGN.